Hey there everyone, welcome to the series Connecting Ansys and SQL the Ironpython way. In today's video, we will be connecting Ansys with MySQL. In our previous video, we have seen connecting Ansys and SQL Server. So today's video will be focusing on MySQL. As you know, MySQL library you cannot install within Ansys, but there is a way in which you can access all the MySQL libraries. So let's get started. So on the right hand side, you will see my Ansys mechanical instance, and on the left hand side you will see the dbeaver tool. This is not a server or any RDBMS server, it's just a tool to connect to various servers. So here you can see I have connected to my MySQL server, postgreSQL, and also SQL server. So today's focus will be on MySQL, and here I have a database called as Ansys DB, and inside that I have a test table. So you will see, and inside Ansys DB I have only one table, and inside table I have only two columns, ID and name, and some couple of values. So first thing we will see a query where we will send to select this ID and name. So we will print all these values, and in second, non-query where we will manipulate the data. So we will insert a row from Ansys, and then after inserting we will delete the same row. So this will be useful. Let's say you are doing some analysis, you have some parameter as input, and output you have some stress or deformation value or any custom results. You can store this value for future use. Let's say you are also doing some design point validation, those things also you can be stored here. So let's start with some basic inputs. I will just copy all this from my script. So you will see this is basic sys module, and I am appending this path because I have all my username and password which I don't want to show it in this video. So I have here, and in that I have a file named as cred.py. Inside that I have uh, a variable which is cred. So here it's a dictionary where I have all username and password. So it's a nested dictionary. So I will just show you what are the things I will be accessing, but it's not required. You can, while testing, you can directly input these values in your automation tool or even in the command window. So here after this is most important thing, which is import CLR module. So CLR module is something which connects this Ironpython with .NET framework. So here from CLR module we will do add reference, which is very important. So here in add reference, there are a couple of things in add reference. First is add reference to file, add reference to file and path. So it says add a reference to a .NET assembly. Since we have not installed MySQL library within Ansys, we will be importing the .NET assembly version of MySQL. So how to get that? So there is a website where you get all NuGet packages. In that we will be downloading mysql.data. Here all the libraries of MySQL is available. Right now I am focusing only on 8032. Other version did not work for me. I will also recommend that you work on 8.0.32 and just click on download package. Once it is downloaded, open it with any WinRAR, or it's like a zip file. So you just have to go to library and go to net 48. No, don't touch any other version. Even net 4.52 doesn't work, 4.8 is working. And then here you have this assembly file, which is mysql.data.dll. So I already have it located in this location, and I will just paste it here. So let me copy that path. I will copy the raw path. So this is where I have all my, this is where I have this MySQL data DLL. This file is also available in my repo. You can directly download it and use as it is. After this, this becomes your library. So this MySQL data is now your library. So now this import will work as it is, like you used to do import MySQL.data, right? So same thing you can do MySQL.data import MySQL client. So this is same as the SQL client which we have seen our previous video. So here it becomes MySQL client. Now couple of things which I will already copy, which is available, for example server name. So as you know, my cred file is having a cred variable which is a nested dictionary. So I have this grade, then keys, personal, and inside personal I have kept several username and password. So one of them is MySQL. Under that MySQL I have a server name, a database name, username, password. Now we create a connection string. So connection string is something which we create. It's just a string, but it contains some parameters which we create to establish a authentication or establish a connection. So this is that connection we use through MySQL client class. So in that MySQL connection, and then we pass this entire string there, which contains server name, database name, user ID, and password. Once this is done, your connection will be established. I mean, you have to open this connection using this connection string. Once you open the connection, you have to pass the query. So I already have a query. Let me just type it. So my query will be select star from, if you remember dbver, I have this ansys db. So ansys db database, ansys db database dot test table. Okay, so I will query this. I have only 4 rows, so I will query everything. Now we will follow method 3. So in previous video, there were 3 methods in which you can pass this query and the connection with the connection string. So I will follow method 3. Method 1 and 2 also you can check out my previous video. So in method 3, what we do is we create a SQL command in which we pass query and connection together. So I will just type command is equal to MySQL client dot MySQL command, and here I will pass query and this connection, right? So once I do this means after this connection is opened, I will execute this command. So this is that method 3, but in method 1 and 2 you can pass separate query, create query commands, pass separate connection. So I prefer this method 3. Once you do this, so let's say I have connection, I will open the connection. It's connection dot open, and after this I will execute this query. So it's available in command itself. So it will be command dot execute reader, command dot execute reader. So what it will do, it will execute this query through this connection. So once this is done, you can now this reader has your table. So to go through all the rows, you have this function called as reader.read. But what happens is once you execute reader.read, it will read one line. To go through the next line, again you have to execute this reader.read. So you don't know how many rows you have in the table. So to avoid that, you can just type while.read. So far it does not come to end of this line, you can keep on reading it. So in reader.read, I will just print. So you have this header, right? So now your object is reader. So this reader is acting as a table. So you can just copy reader, and then your columns will be your index. So for you can pass 0 or 1, or you can pass ID or name. So first let's try with 0. I will copy and also paste it so that I can use it later. So here instead of 0th index, I can pass ID as 2. So I will comment it out. I won't execute this. Once this is done, we will have to close the connection. So it's important that you close it, otherwise next user will not be able to use this, will be blocked. Now let's say while reading something, some error happened. So at that time this connection dot close will not be executed. So it's always good that you use try and except. In this we will just put this, even if there is a failure, uh, like you have exception, we will print that error. Including the print statement, we will also close it. So even if the connection is not open, it is not going to try anything. Even if it fails here, it will close it, but if it's not even open, it will not throw an error. So let's run it. You can just click on run script, and you will see it is giving an error which says MySQL client. So it's a case error. So it's MySQL client. Once you run it, it again gave an error. It says you have an error in Ansys db.test table. So something is wrong here. So this is not column. Sorry. Once you do, you will see 112233. So we have passed reader index 0. So let's comment it out and let me run with the column. So if you do that, you will also get the same. Let me clear this once. So you are also getting, let's say I want to get both reader ID along with reader of name. I want to have an output of both. So if you run this, so here it's an error because we have not added. You will see it's returning as a tuple. You can convert it into a string. So you have 11 4 rows, you have 4 output. So let's say now instead of getting something, so this was, you are executing a query to get an output from the server. Let's say you are trying to do some update or delete. So in that case, this is not going to work. So you have to do non-executive reader. So let me change this statement. So here I will have insert into, why to delete that, I can just do insert into ansys.db. My column names are id comma name and values will be let's say I have 44, right? I can pass 55. It's an integer, and 55 will be let's say I have like test from ansys. Okay, I will insert this now here. Instead of this query connection, everything will be same connection. Since I am not reading anything, you can just comment it out. That's it. So reader, and this is not going to return anything. So I will delete this. It will be just command dot execute reader, but it will be execute non-query. Okay, rest everything is same. Let me run it. It did not give an error. Here I will just press right click and refresh result. So you will see my row is added. Let's say I want to delete it now. So what I will do is I will comment the previous instance statement. I will just do delete from ansys db.test table. So what will happen is it will truncate your entire table. So you should be very careful and you should be sending a filter. So where id is equal to 55. If I execute this, on the left side you see 55 row. On the right side, if I run the script, it did not give error. If I go there and refresh it, you will see 55 row is, the row whose ID was 55 has been deleted. So this is how you can connect Ansys with MySQL. In next video, we will be connecting with postgreSQL. One thing is important is this file. Now you must be asking, suppose you are creating a ACD tool, it's a package. How are you going to send this file there? Actually, this file will be present inside that package. We will create a folder and place it there. And Ansys already knows where is the um, path of this uh, the ACT tool, or from where you are running it. So we will use a relative path there, and then we will pass this DLL file, and from this DLL file you can import those modules and all the related functions or methods. So that's all for this video. If you have enjoyed, please hit like to this video and subscribe to my channel.